Hey everybody, this is Dr. Bonsai at Dr. Bonsai's Meme Emporium, and today I have another unusual unboxing for a system that I've played quite a lot and I really enjoy, but it's from that company. You know, the one that starts with G and ends with W. Middle-earth strategy battle game, Mordor Battlehost. It's kind of an interesting one for me because I first started playing war games way back when the Lord of the Rings movies first came out. And when I started playing those war games, one of the things that I gravitated towards was actually Lord of the Rings, because, hey, this is, the shiny movie property that I know and understand, and I really like the costumes and the character designs and whatnot. So, that's what I went with. And the original rule set was, I believe, written by Alessio Cavatore, who's one of those guys, game designers famous for simple to play, easy to understand, and yet difficult to master. So that's that's kind of what that is. And here we go. So we got the plastic wrap off. This is the box contents. You get 24 orcs, you get 6 warg riders, and the Witch King. All hard plastic, $85 retail, which is actually not that bad for this set of figures for this game. The other contributing factor for this is that this is actually a pretty decently sized army for Lord of the Rings, so you'll probably have to buy like a couple like captains and whatever, but it's really not that big of a price outlay. So yeah, that's what's in the box here. I haven't opened a GW product, like an actual mainline GW product, in some time, so this will be interesting. Okay. Oh, by the way, shout out to Bastion Gaming Center, where I actually got this from. Oh, that's interesting. It's like it's like a sleeve and you get a tray. Neat. Bastion Games in Michigan here, where I got this from. Fantastic store. Sold it, was selling it 76 US. They do have a website. I think it's just bastiongamingcenter.com or something like that. But if you just look up Bastion Gaming Michigan on Google, you should be able to find that. So we've got our bases with pre-drilled holes for our cavalry. We've got slotted bases. What fucking year is this? And then you have the brand new Witch King model, which is one of those beautifully 100% digital sculpts that they do. Look at the detail. Holy crap. This thing looks like it's going to go together like a puzzle. Really interesting. Ooh, look at that. Look at that head. It's so cool. All right. And then you get 2 sprues of these, 2 identical sprues of orcs. And put the box aside. Get a better look at these. So these are, look at that, 2003. So to give you some idea of the vintage of these miniatures, they still hold up really well. They're not obviously as Gucci as like the recent stuff that GW's put out, but these were actually, this particular line was actually sculpted by the Perry brothers, because they actually worked with Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson, in a Weta workshop to help make costumes and props and whatnot. And yeah, these are still, they're old but gold. They were sculpted by hand through the 3-up process. So basically they make the miniature 3 times bigger than it should be, and then when they shrink it down to kind of the size they need it for the scale, then has a positive so this is all hand sculpted detail, so there's no digital chicanery on any of these. Compare that to, compare these guys to the Witch King, which was completely CAD created. So, and the fact that this Witch King has multiple options, so you can kind of take the unadorned hood when he's like looking for Frodo in the Hobbit, or in the Shire. Then you have the actual like Crown of Morgul when he goes off to war. And you get your sprue of 6 wargs. So these guys are really, really good looking. They have this notch here at the back. I don't know if we can see that, but you see there's kind of like a notch there. Yeah, there we go. And basically the 2 halves clamshell together, and then the rider sprue, which I'll show you, slots right in so you can actually pull them off. And then they also have, if you don't want to do riding wargs, you can just put in this little tuft of fur into the hole. Base plugs for the empty spots on the bases. Really great. The Peter Jackson Rabid Badger Lord of the Rings warg riders, and then you actually have the warg rider sprue, which is actually really neat. And again, all sculpted by hand, no AutoCAD or anything like that. So you have 2 guys with bows, 2 guys with swords, and 2 guys with throwing spears, and then you get shields to arm each one. You get some spare swords, you get a quiver, you get extra bow, so you can basically Gucci these guys out as much as you want, which I think is actually a really neat take on these. And as you can see, each of them has this little plug here at the bottom of the saddle where they'll plug into the warg rider, and then if the warg gets removed as a casualty, because that's a thing that can happen, then it'll just pop right off. So, and then you have instruction booklet for the Witch King, which obviously, as you can see, is pretty detailed and pretty very clean color illustration. Like, okay, I see you, GW. You're flexing pretty hard with this, but for what I got this for, as like a continuation of an existing Lord of the Rings army, this is shockingly not a bad value, which you don't hear very often about anything Games Workshop. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Have a great day.